What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package, and infrastructure update for Saturday, June 26th. There's a lot of stuff we need to go over in today's video. First off, the Republicans are furious over what President Biden stated the other day when he told them the only way the bipartisan bill would pass is if it is in tandem with a budget reconciliation bill, meaning that Democrats and the GOP have wasted a bunch of time negotiating, trying to get a deal done, when in the end, this is not a done deal. This is just the beginning. This is the preliminaries. We are just getting started. So, what I want to discuss in today's video is not only what is happening with the infrastructure package, but what is going on in regards to possibly additional stimulus checks or survival checks because of all the different relief and assistance programs that are ending, and some of the other things that are going to be popping up. So we're going to address that, unemployment, and I want to talk about the COVID vaccine and what the FDA actually did just the other day. So hopefully you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you guys are already having a great weekend, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. But let's get into the update for today. First, here are the 10 states that will be ending their unemployment benefits. These are the federal unemployment benefits. They will be ending them today. Okay, at the end of today, these will end, and these are the 10 states. There's Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Montana, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Texas, and Utah. All 10 of those states will be ending their federal unemployment benefits by the end of today. Now, a judge ruled yesterday in favor of Indiana residents, actually allowing them to continue their $300 per week federal unemployment boost. In addition to their long-term benefits, we will also see self-employed and gig workers continue to get their unemployment benefits as well. At least this is for the foreseen time. So we will see if this is something that will last until September 6th, or if this will be just for a short period. So again, this is just for residents in Indiana. Now, here's something I want you to understand. When you consider that 2.5 million Americans after today actually will be losing all their federal unemployment benefits, and you combine that with over 3 million people about to lose their homes and be evicted, well, this isn't actually happening on July 1st. This is going to happen on August 1st. About 3.2 million people who are currently behind in rent could be evicted from their homes. So when you couple roughly 4 million people, at this time that will be losing their unemployment benefits, in addition to 3.2 million people that will be possibly evicted from their homes, this is why many lawmakers are pushing for a survival check. This is not about stimulus at this time. This is about surviving, providing the American people with money that they need in order to pay for food, pay for their rent, and just buy the essentials, whether it's medication, water, or something else. That is something that is needed at this time. Now, these survival checks, they are not being talked about and giving a specific amount. And I want to explain why. According to reports, and again, these are just reports, I don't know for sure, okay? But according to multiple reports, the reason lawmakers are not discussing a survival check amount or even a stimulus check amount. Now, some are. Progressives are pushing for that $2,000 per month. Bernie Sanders wants to see a $2,000 one-time payment plus $1,000 every month after that. There's some lawmakers that just want to see a $1,000 per month stimulus check. Some say they want to see this all the way till the end of the pandemic. Others say they just want to see it for one full year. So again, there's different numbers, there's discussions and different plans out there. However, according to reports, the reason why lawmakers are not pushing for a specific amount is because that actually turns off other lawmakers from supporting the bill. So, the reason why we're not hearing this is because they're trying to give it the biggest possibility to be included. And the best way to do that, according to experts, is by leaving out an amount. and leaving it up to lawmakers to decide what the amount should be when that time finally comes. Now, what is that time? When is the time finally coming? When is that? Well, here's what we know. This bill is supposed to be passed before Congress goes on recess in August. Well, the Senate's already on recess. They're already on recess. They will not be coming back until July 12th, so in about 2 weeks. Well, here's the issue. If this bill doesn't get negotiated and passed, and this is not the bipartisan bill. The bipartisan bill will not have any stimulus in it, will not have survival checks, will not have human infrastructure, social infrastructure. It's not going to have that. It's just going to be pure infrastructure, roads, bridges, railways, broadband, things like that, some EV stuff. That's what it's going to have. So what we know is that if we want to see a survival check or a stimulus check or more stimulus, more assistance, more aid to the American people, it has to come through a it has to come through a budget reconciliation bill, not a bipartisan bill. So when will we know what the amount will be if there is survival checks or stimulus checks? It might not happen until sometime in the end of July. But some are also saying that the bipartisan bill, the White House is scrambling to try to fix the issue that President Biden stated, that the bipartisan bill has to come in tandem with the budget reconciliation. According to reports, that has always been the presumption. That's always been the idea amongst Democrats. The problem is they never stated that. They never told Republicans their plan. And now Nancy Pelosi and President Biden come out and pretty much tell Republicans their plan all along has been to, let's get a bipartisan deal, and then we're going to hold that bipartisan deal ransom and be like, okay, we'll pass this, but you got to also let us pass this budget reconciliation. As we do that, we'll do this, we'll do them both together, and it will be great, right? That's what we're hearing. Well, the problem is Republicans aren't going for this. Republicans do not want to do another budget reconciliation. It's just too big. So here's what we know at this time. Even though lawmakers are pushing for more assistance, more relief, more stimulus, okay, and whether it happens or not, we don't know. But what I can tell you is they are pushing for 3 more months of income for the American people. Now, there's a reason for this. Again, I told you, they're not coming out and giving an exact amount, a dollar figure, but they want to bring this up as more of a 3-month plan for additional income. Here's the reason why. Lawmakers are saying, remember, this is exactly what happened when Congress passed the American Rescue Plan back on March 11th. That's when President Biden signed it. They actually wanted to provide 3 months worth of assistance to the American people. Well, I asked many of you guys here in the community, and you guys said that that check, that $1,400 check, lasted less than a week. Many lasted less than a month. I think there's only a handful of you that said that you were still holding on to it. So that's showing signs that the American people need the money. The American people need the money. So hopefully Congress will pass a little bit more. But here's what we know. Experts say that they believe providing 3 months worth of lost benefits or income would be a smart move. They say that this would give millions of Americans the ability to go and find the right job. Remember when I just discussed about 2.5 million people were going to lose their unemployment benefits at the end of today? Well, what experts are saying is that they believe if Congress were to pass an initial survival check or stimulus check, that would allow the American people, roughly 4 million people, to go and get the right job and not just accept anything that was handed to them. Now, why is that? Some are actually saying that the problem that is happening right now is you have many people that are higher educated people, okay? They have a college degree or they have some college experience, right? They have actual history in the field that they're applying in, which is great. They have that prerequisite. But what's happening is by all these people that are higher, they have a higher education. What's happening is that they can't go and get those better paying jobs because some of the executives are taking over those jobs. And as more people come into the workforce, come back from maybe this 3, 4, 5 year hiatus or whatever they've been on, they're coming back. They have this experience, they have these degrees, and now it's like, we don't have enough jobs for the people that are coming back. We don't have enough jobs for people that have the just ample qualifications. We don't have that. And so what happens? The people with a high school diploma or even less, a GED or anything less, like not even a diploma, they are getting pretty much the end. They're the tail end of the jobs, right? They're getting the beginner stuff, the things that teenagers would normally get. And then teenagers are being thrown out and be like, oh, well, there's no jobs for you. And so this is the issue that we're seeing. So experts say that by doing this, by providing a 3-month income or benefit, this would actually allow the American people to go and get the right job, not just any job. This would also allow millions to put food on the table for the time being. And they say that these survival checks, if sent out in September, would provide for those during very tough times. If they get sent out in September, that means we will have, for 3 months, let's say it comes out September 15th, right? Middle of September. That means we got October, November, and December 15th. Okay, so before Christmas, we would see, hopefully, we'd start to see more consumer spending. Well, what happens to the economy when we don't have a good year around Christmas time and the holidays? Well, it's not great. It's not great. The American people love to spend money. We just love spending money around the holidays. Whether we have the money or not, we love spending it. Whether we go into debt or not, we will. We will go into debt in order to provide our friends, family, children, people we don't even know with presents that they don't even need, right? We'll do that. That's something that we do. Experts say that is something that is needed this year for the economy. Now, remember when lawmakers passed the American Rescue Plan, back on March 11th? These $1,400 stimulus checks were supposed to last 3 months. The problem with that, and I just want to bring this kind of full circle. The problem with that is $1,400 for many does not last 3 months. $1,400 for many lasts anywhere between 1 to 2 months. That's what, at least according to experts. So, how much will this next stimulus or survival check be? Well, according to experts, they believe this must be $2,000 if lawmakers want to go for 3 additional months and provide the American people with more assistance. The only reason why the $1,400 stimulus checks were supposed to last 3 months is because they were coupling that with the $600 stimulus checks that former President Donald Trump passed back in December. So, at this time, what they are saying is that these have to be $2,000 stimulus or survival checks if lawmakers want to push this for 3 months worth of income. And again, we don't know for sure, but that is what they've done in the past. That is what many are saying should be done again. But it will come down to what President Biden pushes for and what other priorities Democrats currently have. But again, this all comes down to the infrastructure package and how close Congress can get to that. President Biden had an agreement earlier this week with a bipartisan group of senators, and they said that we have a deal. However, he also stated that this bill must pass in tandem with a budget reconciliation. And the problem that Republicans are having at this time is the reports are indicating that this bill will be roughly $6 trillion. That's what's currently being discussed with Bernie Sanders and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. However, here's something that is not being discussed, is that $6 trillion budget reconciliation bill does not take into account any funding that goes, or any priorities, any policies, any legislation that goes to this bipartisan bill. So, this bill is supposed to be about $900 billion over 5 years. Over 8 years, if you extend it, it's about $1.2 trillion. So, Bernie Sanders is wanting to do an 8-year bipartisan bill, at least according to reports. So if you take 1.2 trillion away from the $6 trillion, that still brings us down to 4.8. Well, down, I guess, but it's still up from what Republicans want, to $4.8 trillion in additional spending. Now, Here's the thing. President Biden initially wanted to pass a $4.1 or $4.2 trillion infrastructure package. And this would have been two different packages. Okay? This is hard infrastructure, social infrastructure, right? You did them both. Well, what we know right now is Republicans will not go for any social infrastructure. They're not going to pass a bipartisan bill anywhere close to $6 trillion. They won't even come close to $2 trillion. They don't even want to top $1 trillion, essentially. So, what we know is that these discussions are going to continue. However, the most likely outcome at this point is that we do not see a bipartisan bill even get passed, and then Democrats just push through with a budget reconciliation. But at this time, we are already seeing more and more delays. So, I just want to provide you with that quick little update because I know a lot of people are currently wondering what's going on there. But speaking of what other people are wondering, the biggest question I get here on this channel, other than, hey, when are we going to get a stimulus check, is when is President Biden going to pass or talk about that $200 per month boost he promised to Social Security recipients? Well, reports today are indicating that President Biden is not even working on this. There's really no discussions. There's nothing happening because according to reports, and again, the reason why I say according to reports and not according to President Biden is because according to reports, the Biden administration is prioritizing other things first. Okay? Now, I want to be very clear. These are reports, and they're coming from different media sites. CNN, Washington Post, Bloomberg, Fox News as well. Obviously they cover different ranges. Some are a little bit left, some are a little bit right. Some, you get it. But the reason why I bring that up is because this is essentially what we're seeing. Actions speak louder than words, and right now, okay, lawmakers can't agree on anything. They are struggling. So we're going to see what happens, but what I can tell you is President Biden is having a tough time getting anything passed, but in addition to that, lawmakers can't figure out what they want to prioritize currently, and so that's going to become a big issue. But right now, what some are actually discussing at this time is raising the minimum benefit up to stay current with inflation. That's something that we heard last week from Senator Sherrod Brown. They also want to allow people on Social Security to work, which would actually subsidize their income, and it would allow them to continue to pay into the system. So again, that could help them in more than one way. And now they want to do something, and this is something that's a bipartisan bill. It's being proposed by both Democrats and Republicans in the House and the Senate. They want to pass a bill called the Know Your Social Security Act. And this would allow people that are 25 years or older to get a yearly statement from the Social Security Administration, and it would allow them to see how much they've been contributing to Social Security and Medicare. This will then allow them to know, okay, well, how much could I potentially get when I retire on Social Security? And this would allow people to better plan for the future. So we will see if any of this happens, but as of right now, some are saying that as long as lawmakers are discussing Social Security, that is considered a really good thing. And the last thing I want to address, this is something I think is extremely important. I like to talk about the vaccines. I like to talk about COVID a little bit here and there, sprinkle it in, simply because this is a major thing here in the United States and across the world. But yesterday, the FDA stated that they will be adding a warning to the COVID vaccines about the risks of a possible heart inflammation. Okay, that's myocarditis or whatever it is. Anyway, they are stating that this is a very minimal risk, but it is still a risk. Okay, so the reason why I want to bring this up is because, and I stated this before, I've been very open that I did get the vaccine. Okay, and again, whether you like that decision or not, that's fine. And I try to be very open with you guys as well. If you want to get the vaccine, great, but I also want to warn you on the risk. And so this is one of the risks why many people say they're not going to get it. I completely understand, right? This is a minimal risk. They say right now that this is something that many people could experience, and many people will experience this exact thing after the second dose. The first dose is pretty minimal. However, again, I try to warn you on both sides, try to give you both sides of the story. What the benefits behind a vaccine are, but also what the risk could be. Again, the experts, the health experts are saying that the risks, okay, do not outweigh the reward of a vaccine. But again, I want to give you the information and let you guys make the call. But that is all we know right now regarding stimulus, regarding infrastructure, and regarding the COVID vaccine. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Have an incredible weekend as well. And I'll see you guys on the next one.